How many of us, when we order certain things and something else arrives at your doorstep, or probably not even arrive on your doorstep? So, all this happens to be something which is alarming when it comes to e commerce. And as you know, e commerce scams in Malaysia have been on the rise, often targeting individuals through fake online stores or fraudulent social media ads. I think we've seen a lot of that on our social media platforms. Common tactics include selling counterfeit products, failing to deliver purchase items, or stealing personal and financial information. I think some of us, or probably unfortunately, some of us could be in this particular area, or where we have faced one of these problems. And our guest in the studios here will be able to explain to us a little bit more when it comes to our topic on what matters, which is shop smart, stay safe. A very good morning to you, Fazlan. Fazlan, how are you today?
Thank you for inviting. Very good morning, Gilbert.
All right. Good morning, Fazlan. And while Fazlan will be guiding us through with the questions that we have here put on to him with regards to this particular topic today, which is shop smart, stay safe, e-commerce scams in Malaysia, and how do we tackle this? How do we detect something like this online? And yes, when it comes to anything and everything to do with e-commerce, Fazlan, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Just for the benefit of our listeners.
Hi, my name is Fazlan Abdullah. I've been with CyberSecurity Malaysia for, I think, almost 17, 18 years.
Wow. Oh, that's long. Okay.
I've been involved in from the critical infrastructure protection.
Okay.
Involved in outreach. I've been giving talks to the public.
Okay.
And I was attached for a couple of years with the Personal Data Protection Department, looking into personal data protection. So quite a lot of these online scams, frauds, I've come across before and reported to CyberSecurity Malaysia.
Okay, and especially the ones where they have your details and information, right? When they just take it, and then you were just wondering, how did he find, the details and the numbers and all that? So Fazlan, I think you're very prone into this particular area. So we're going to dig into the questions right here and find out what are the common factors that probably some, I should say, victims, sad to say that victims get involved in or being cheated out of. Fazlan, what are the most common e-commerce scams encountered here in Malaysia or among Malaysian consumers?
Now, just to give some bit of definition of fraud and scam, it occurs when someone is cheated out of money by another party or individual. The individual could be the other party could be an individual or a business on the basis of the seller promising to provide services or goods which do not exist and are not intended to be provided or are misrepresented.
Okay.
So sometimes they contact through, for example, social media or through specific websites. And then when the victims provide the money, the services or products they receive are not the same as what was advertised, if they even receive it at all. Sometimes the product that I receive is different or fraudulent, counterfeit, or worst case, like you mentioned just now, they don't even receive anything at all.
It doesn't arrive at your doorstep. Okay.
So, and sometimes the victims only realize that they have been scammed, defrauded, when the seller is suddenly they cannot contact anymore through WhatsApp or whatever.
Okay.
So the issue now is that anyone can be an online merchant. And because social media, you can be anonymous, you can create a fake account, whatever. And the non-transparency and you don't know who is on the other side.
Yes.
So this creates an issue of whether you can trust the seller. So you and me, everybody is vulnerable to being scammed on e-commerce. So you must take steps to protect yourself against this kind of frauds.
Okay.
So some of the many types, some of the common type of fraud that's been reported include identity theft, credit card fraud, phishing. Phishing means tricking you to clicking onto it seems like legitimate, but it's actually a fake website. Social engineering through, for example, phone calls pretending to be law enforcement officers, police officers. There are a lot of cases right now that they're pretending to be officers from CyberSecurity Malaysia, calling you and tricking you to provide information to do scams.
Okay.
And like I mentioned yourself, counterfeit products, fake products, and refund fraud. For example, there are some cases where, if for example you are a seller, sometimes the scammer will contact you. They ask for your account. They say they want to transfer money, and then they give evidence so-called as if they transferred. For example, you sell something for 100.
Okay.
But then the scammer say they accidentally transfer you 1,000 ringgit.
Okay.
And then they say, I accidentally transferred you 1,000. Can you refund me back 900 ringgit? So they give all the evidence. It looks like real. So some of those, they get the sellers, the online sellers, the legitimate online sellers, they get tricked and they return back the money. And this has happened also.
Okay. Fazlan, with this question here, how prevalent are these scams in Malaysia's e-commerce market, and how do they evolve?
At the moment, there are some statistics that are available from the PDRM that there's about 20 in the year 2023. About 23,000 cases were reported, and losses were about 840 million. This is all overall fraud.
Okay.
Specific to e-commerce, about 10,000 cases reported, and 174 million losses were reported in 2023. In 2024, overall, there were about 20,000 cases reported and about 1 billion losses reported to PDRM.
Okay.
And specific to e-commerce fraud, about 7,600 cases reported and about 70 million ringgit losses were recorded.
Fazlan, this one here, just to rectify this, right? You said in 2023, the number seems to be high and the value seems to be low. Was it 40 million in 2023?
840 million.
840 million. Okay. And in 2024, numbers are going up. Is that right, Fazlan?
Yes. We see that there is the trend of fraud cases. The losses is increasingly year by year.
They're getting daring.
Yeah, and because now the scammers, they have a lot of tools now they can use. For example, technology. They can use AI to make very convincing deep fake videos. There have been cases of people being fooled by video calls from their, for example, their bosses or whatever.
Okay.
They trick these people into transacting money that through deepfake videos. I think the latest one, there was a case of someone who believed that she was in a relationship with a Hollywood actor.
Okay.
All through deepfake. The scammers use fake videos, fake phone calls, tricking the victim into giving money,
right?
Because the victim really believed she was in a relationship with this Hollywood actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My goodness, things like this do happen, and sometimes we are just ignorant or the innocence of a victim. Okay, probably I would say the innocence of the victim, not prone in what's going on and what's happening. Fazlan, what are the warning signs that consumers should look out to identify potential e-commerce scams? Is there something that a user can detect?
Well, I would like to say that to save your money, for example, takes a long time.
Yes.
And however, losing it can be very, very fast. So
seconds.
Must be very vigilant to ensure that you're protected against all these kind of scams.
Okay.
For example, check out that the prices that are quoted if you're buying something on a social media website.
All right.
That is too good to be true. Don't always expect to get they call it a jackpot price.
Oh, okay.
So extremely low price for supposed to be, for example, a handphone that's supposed to cost like 6,000, 7,000 ringgit.
Okay.
And suddenly somebody offer it for 1,000.
Something is definitely wrong.
Yeah, be careful about that.
Okay.
And then sometimes the seller is pressuring you to act quickly.
Okay.
So they create a false sense of urgency to push you to making a hasty decision. So be careful. And sometimes they ask for requests for payment outside of the platform. Sometimes they ask you to pay via bank transfer or other methods.
Okay.
So be careful about this.
All right.
And then sometimes lack of seller information.
Okay.
So
All right.
legitimate sellers should provide full contact details and all that. And then sometimes the sellers, you need to check their background, their profile, whether they are just only recently registered or they have been in business for a long time with a strong reputation. And then if you're buying from a website, the e-commerce website,
Okay.
sometimes the website design is very badly designed, and sometimes you can check when was the website created using some tools. For example, who is
Developers.
we can check when was the website registered and who is it registered to. Is it legitimate? Then some of these scammers, they ask for unnecessary personal information, too much information. So these are some of the
pointers to look out for,
signs.
right? Okay. Okay, Fazlan, moving on to our next question here. What role does technology play in enabling e-commerce scams, and how can consumers mitigate these risks?
Okay, like I mentioned just now, AI. AI is a good tool, but a lot of people use AI for good. But the bad actors, the scammers, they are also using AI to. Last time, previously, some of these, for example, scam emails or whatever, you can easily detect because they have bad spelling errors or something. But now when you use AI to create these scam emails or scam website or whatever, they look very convincing.
Perfect, yes.
Yeah, perfect. And even the deepfake videos, they have sometimes famous actors, famous personalities,
All right.
prominent businessmen, even they use politicians. And they use deepfake videos. Looks very convincing. For example, if say somebody in a businessman say, join me in this. And they use very convincing. So be careful about that. Is it true or not?
Right. I've seen some deep fake videos of Fazlan on some English Premier League coaches. And the way they were talking, when sometimes a coach or his character, he stops and then he breathes like that. Everything is so similar according to them. And the words he was using was not right because he doesn't use those kind of words. So there you go. That's some of the examples as Fazlan gave. Fazlan, what are the best practices for consumers to protect themselves from e-commerce scams in Malaysia?
For example, if the seller asks you to pay into an account, there is a tool website developed by the police, PDRM.
Okay.
It's called Semak Mule Portal. It's from the Commercial Crime Investigation Department. You can check whether the phone number that the seller uses or the account number that the seller asks you to bank in, whether there has been any reports made. So this is the importance of, for example, if you yourself have become a victim of a scam, to make a report to the police so that they have a record of what bank account numbers that the scammers are using. And you can use this, the portal I mentioned just now, and to check whether or not the accounts is linked to a scam. So
So this web portal, Semak Mule, will help you at least help you detect what is true, what is what is not right with that seller. Okay, so there you go. And one last question here before we take a short song break. Fazlan, how can consumers effectively report and seek or readdress e-commerce scams they encounter here in Malaysia? Is there any effective report or anything like that?
If you are a victim of a scam, you can immediately report to the National Scam Response Center. That is a phone number 997.
Okay.
You can immediately call that to get, for example, the transaction to be, if possible, to be stopped as soon as possible. Definitely report to the police, report to the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, MCMC.
All right.
And also to the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, KPD and HEP.
Okay.
And also you can inform the e-commerce platform. Like I myself, if I notice that some seller online is selling obviously fraudulent products, you can report yourself. You can click on the to notify, for example, the social media platform that this is possibly a fraudulent account, and so that they can take down whatever the fake sellers.
Okay.
And you also you can complain with the consumer protection bodies, for example, the National Consumer Complaint Center or Federation of Malaysian Consumer Association.
Okay, so there you go. Explained well by Fazlan. Fazlan, thank you so much. We're going to take a short song break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking or diving into two more of our questions here, and the recent technology advancement and innovating being used to detect and prevent e-commerce scams in Malaysia. So that will be really, really interesting to our listeners. Remember, we are on YouTube, TikTok, and also Instagram. It is TRAXXfm Official. And if you happen to be on Facebook, TRAXXfm it is. We'll be back in a bit. Stay tuned right here, TRAXXfm. What matters midweek, today's edition of Momentum, the 15th of January. Shop smart. Stay safe. Talking to Fazlan Abdullah, who is the acting head of division Pre-Emptive Technology and Services, CyberSecurity, Malaysia. Stay tuned. Gilbert here with my producer in the studio with me. We have Rose. Today's topic on what matters. As you know, different days with different topics on momentum. Midweek, it's what matters. And our topic today, shop smart, stay safe. And talking to our guests in the studios, we have Fazlan Abdullah, who is the acting head of division, Pre-Emptive Technology and Services, CyberSecurity Malaysia. And as you know, what is happening these days, especially when you happen to be one of those who just loves e-commerce or probably spend more time shopping online and with scams and all this that's happening right now. Who are the victims, the type of victims, how do they prey on the victims, all that much more. We discussed this much earlier on with Fazlan, and we're moving on to more questions with Fazlan here. Off air, I was talking to Fazlan with regards of what's happening, who are the kind of victims or the kind of people that get involved in scams, and how does it happen? The younger generation, the older generation, and Fazlan, we were talking about it, right? How the younger generation these days, they get attracted to being trendy and things like that, but they can't afford it sometimes, and then when they see something cheap online and they just dive into it, and that's how they get cheated. And then for the elderly generations, they're not tech savvy and things like that, and they fall for it easily. So these are some of the factors that we were talking off air. But getting into more questions here, Fazlan. Now, there are recent technology advancements, innovations also to be included in that, being used to detect or prevent e-commerce scams in Malaysia. Could you just explain a little bit about this, Fazlan?
I was mentioning just now about AI,
Yes.
hot topic, AI, machine learning. Some of the telco companies, they are deploying AI to automatically detect, for example, scam calls, whatever, and automatically block it at source so that it doesn't reach the potential victims. So but sometimes some of these calls do get through, and I would advise listeners to install apps. For example, they call it Truecaller. Another app is also called Who's Call. So some of these apps you can use, and if there are fraudulent scammers calling, usually these apps, they can flag, come out and show that this is a potential suspicious call, and you must be careful. And some other countries, for example, there is it's in Europe. There's one telco company, they use an AI tool. They create, this is a bit funny lah. They use an online character like a grandmother to layan the scammer. So they take up the scammer's time so that the scammer will not be scamming some other victim. So it will
waste his time, in other words.
The scammer's time.
Is that been applied here yet? No, not yet.
Currently not that I'm aware of, but what I'm aware is that some of the telcos, they are using AI to detect and stop, but it's not perfect. Around the world, they call it robocall, voice over IP technology. It is a major problem throughout the world. So it's not just in Malaysia alone.
Right. Fazlan, just coming back again to this question number 7 here, right? The other method that's been used, which has been implemented, the one that detects, you can detect the number or something like that, Fazlan. How does that work actually? I mean, you just put the number in, or it flags off from your phone?
You install the app on your phone, and then when a phone call comes in, it will detect the phone number. They have a database. So, for example, some of these databases are user generated. Like if I receive a call and then I say this is a scam call, so I use the app and say this is a scam. So when another user gets a phone call from the same number, they can see that it's a scam. Also, we will also advise that to keep devices, your handphones and all that, updated to the latest updates, so that usually the updates will have security updates, and also, for example, to install antivirus in case, for example, sometimes there's a lot of cases of scammers using .apk. .apk to steal your information.
Information, yes.
For example, if you want to engage house cleaning services, the scammer will ask you, please install this app. And the app is not on the official Play Store or whatever.
Okay.
So that is also a red flag. If they ask you to install, download a software or whatever, be very careful. In fact, basically, don't do it. In your settings, in your handphone, you can toggle it so that it will not allow your phone to download, install software that is outside of the official Play Store.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is another.
These are some of the points here that we should always be a little vigilant about. Thank you so much, Fazlan, for that. One last question here, Fazlan. How can consumers or consumer awareness and education campaigns effectively empower Malaysian consumers to make safe and informed online shopping decisions? Is there any campaigns or anything like that probably our listeners or probably Malaysia should be a little aware of?
Okay, at CyberSecurity Malaysia itself, we have a campaign, a program called CyberSafe. CyberSafe stands for Cybersecurity Awareness for Everyone.
Okay.
It is a program for all levels of society, from school children, parents, teachers, organizations, even the large organizations, SMEs. So we want to promote awareness of the possible pitfalls of going online.
Okay.
So we are also working on digital literacy programs. We are working with the Ministry of Education to educate. We have a module on for the school children, so that at a very young age they are aware of the pitfalls of online. And then we're also working with collaboration with e-commerce and social media. We also have a roadshow. We go from schools and other platforms to promote awareness on anti-scam. And thank you for inviting us today. This is also a way that we can promote awareness on scams to the listeners of TRAXXfm.
Right. So there you go. This is how effective promoting or empowering the individual or Malaysia when it comes to scamming or being a little bit more savvy when you do your shopping in e-commerce, especially on an e-commerce platform. So Fazlan Abdullah, Acting Head of Division Pre-Emptive Technology and Services, CyberSecurity Malaysia. And as Fazlan explained to us, all that we need to know, especially on some of the web portals where we can check, which is Semak Mule, and then of course having those little apps downloaded into your smart devices to detect scammers. So this is some of the initiative that's done by CyberSecurity Malaysia, and thank you so much, Fazlan, for being here with us. This is so informative, especially for them who just loves to do shopping online. So there you go. Yeah, be safe wherever you are.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Thank you so much, Fazlan. Thank you. Acting Head of Division Pre-Emptive Technology and Services, and it's CyberSecurity Malaysia with us. So stay safe when you do shopping, shop smart. And yes, this is TRAXXfm What Matters midweek with our interview, second hour of the show. Thank you. We'll be back in a bit. We've got news coming up midday, and thank you so much to my producer Rose for being here with us, and to our listeners who happen to be on our social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and also on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.